start? Okay, I start? Is it rolling? Okay, so this is the story of how I met my friend.
So I came to school with a big smile on my face and stood beside Miss Peggy's desk.
Well, this is also about how I met my friend on the first day of school. I was a returning student and I was standing in the usual spot near the escalator. And I saw a person that I've never seen before in front of Miss Peggy's desk. But the thing was, she looked really scary, with a bit of an intimidating atmosphere surrounding her, which made it seem that she didn't want anyone coming near her. So I just left her alone and went to my first class.
In the morning, I had a very interesting experience too. I was talking to these two girls and I was trying to get into the conversation, but then this girl came in. And she seemed like she had been here last year, and everyone stopped talking to me to go say hi to her. And I thought, oh shoot, she's the queen bee. And after that, I went to my first class.
So that day, we had our first math class, and I sat at the very back of the room behind a big pillar. And I couldn't really see anyone, but when we started introducing ourselves, I heard a voice, a new voice, and it seemed really intimidating.
So luckily enough, my advisor was in the same room as my first class, math. I was sitting in the front with this pretty scary dude sat next to me. And my teacher said we have to all introduce ourselves. So I did, and of course I used my nicest voice possible. And I think I made a pretty good impression.
So social studies was the last class of the day, and I was already sitting in the classroom when this girl approached me and asked if she could sit next to me. With a huge smile on my face, I said, of course. So our first activity in social studies was to use a textbook and answer some questions. And we could either do it individually or work with a partner. And since it seemed a little awkward to sit there in silence, I decided to talk a little bit with the person sitting next to me. So this girl, who was sitting beside me, automatically becomes my partner because my teacher says we have to have partners for our first project. What teacher does that on the first day of school? That has to be the cruelest thing, to ask a student, especially a new student, to come up with a partner to do a project with. So this assignment was about geography, and we were happily doing this assignment. And then there was a question about Phoenix, Arizona. But the thing is, when we started the activity, there was a lot of awkward silence. So I decided to ask a random question just to make the conversation flow. How do you spell Phoenix? The moment I asked her the question, that girl looked at me as though I were asking a question that didn't make any sense, and just stared at me and coldly told me how to spell the word. So she asked me, how do you spell Phoenix? And I looked at her with kindness and understanding in my eyes, and I told her how to spell it. When I went home that day, I knew I had made a new friend.
Hey, just for the camera, can you show us the kind and understanding look that you give to Saki?